haven't seen another video, and it's been a while. And I've had some medical issues recently. And one of the issues, and you can see the scar that I've had here, I had skin cancer, and it was far deeper. So they really had to do, I mean, it was more extensive as far as getting all that out. But the good news, they got it all out, so I'm doing just fine on that end. But when you're 76 years old, things start to happen. And you know, things go on. But the reason I'm doing this video really is, and actually I'm going to do two videos. I'm going to focus on one video on this one. It's really based on some of the discussion I had with family members in the hospital with patients. And what is talked about and what they've been talking about is what all of us are feeling. A lot going on in our world, things are going on that news is coming at us from left and right, and all kinds of events are going on, and we're all kind of absorbing it, making sense of it, and so on and so forth. But there's something that was said that really caught my attention, and I have talked about this before, but I think one of the patient or the family members said, how do they get away with it? We see things going on with people, and we, how do they get away with things? And some of the stuff they do is really, really terrible. But how do they get away with it? And the truth of the matter is they don't. They may get away with it in this lifetime. They may get away with it depending on the circumstances that unfold, but they don't, and when they take their last breath. And most of us, we have talked about this before, is that at the end of your life, when you take your last breath, you go into what's called a life review, and you know what that is. You go through everything. Your whole entire life, every second, every moment, and what is stunning about it, every thought, every intent, every whatever, what all the thoughts that you go on. And the review normally is about all the things that we did good, and also things that we have to take a second look at. And, sometimes the second look, depending on what we've done, one of the most important things to God is how we affect others. Why? He created each and every one of us into existence, to experience all that there is. How we affect others is really far more significant to God. And what is stunning about the review is how we affect others. And what is even more stunning about it is what is striking about it, you actually become the person that you affected. You see it through their eyes, how you affected them. But I said, most of us are going to be just fine, we're going to get through it, and it is experience, and for some, depending on what you did, it can be tough. It will be tough, but both the combination of good and the bad. So things you did good with people, and things that you really have to take a second look at. The thing that I'm going to be focused on in this video and I'm going to be very focused on certain events around the world. One is Ukraine, and the other is in the Mideast. And both of them, what's going on there is, and I'm going to kind of focus really on Ukraine and based on a dictator and it's Putin. He sits at a 50-foot table, and everybody's at one end, and he's at the other end, and his life means everything to him. But based on what God knows, his true intent, his true motivation, he knows what's going on there, and based on what he did to all these people, and he means really, the word killing, that's exactly what he's doing. Women, children, everybody. He eats the finest food. He has the finest place to stay. He's doing just fine as far as that. He's getting everything, but he sure can kill. He sure can kill people, women and children, and makes no difference to him. A testament of goodness, you put others before you. A testament of evil, you put yourself above everybody else. It makes no difference to them who dies, whatever goes on. It makes no difference. It's for their gratification. And for most of this is really about power. The control of others. It's stunning how many people are so taken by power and how they want to do their will. That's what goes on. But God does get his justice, everybody. I was explaining to somebody, he does get his justice through that review. At the end of our life, and I say this many times, and when I do last rites and or final prayers, that everybody's ever known will be there waiting for him to welcome him. But there's another side to this. Most of us will have that experience, and all the people we've ever known, everybody will be there to welcome us in, and that's you get taken into heaven, you get taken into the kingdom. But there are those who will not experience that in that review. These dictators, what they're doing is they're killing, and all the people they have killed, and this is what really stunning about all this. I mean, if you can just imagine for a minute, if you can imagine this, and I talk about God's justice, every person they have killed, every life they have taken, they will be there. Putin and all these others will see the people that they affected directly, all in front of them, and maybe hundreds of thousands of souls will be all there. Everyone. And they want to move on. Those souls want to move on, but they have to go through this. Justice in a way, and it's not based on revenge, it's based on how you affected them. And what he's going to experience, every single person, one individual at a time, will go up to Putin and all these dictators, and whether they're touching whatever, but as soon as they get up there and they're doing eye contact, Putin will actually experience their death. All the fear, all the terror, all the stuff that went on before they're born, and all the people that were affected by it, and the other part of it, really what's stunning about each individual, guys, you have to understand, you're going through each one. The other part of this, what could have been? What their life could have been if their life was not taken. And their life was taken because based on this one individual, this one dictator, and I'm using Putin just one, but there are others out there. They're taking lives, everybody. They're taking lives. And the question I have, if you think for one moment you can kill his children, nobody knows on the intent, the true intent. God does get his justice, everybody. He does get his justice. But it's really based on what we did, what they did, what they did, how they affected what they did to people. The other thing is, it does end. Every person is accounted for, whether it's 100,000, 200,000, whatever it may be. That's just what it is. There's a rule, everybody, and I think you're familiar with it. What you put out is exactly what you get back. That's the way it works. It's simple, basic, nothing complex. What you put out is exactly what you get back. And the dictators, what you put out is exactly what you get back. And I'm going to do another video on something else, and I'll explain in the next video what I'm going to be talking about. God does get his justice. He does. And these people have no idea what awaits them. None. But we do. We have all of us have a sense. We treat people with respect and honor. We treat them as best as we can. We have our moments. That's perfect, everybody. But I think overall, at times we put others before us. That's what we're made of. That's what we're all about. Anyway, I just want to put this out there, and it's important to know. It's important to know. Things do happen, everybody. God gets his justice, and they have to answer for what they did. Anyway, I'm going to go ahead and sign off on this one. I appreciate your time for watching this video. It's been a while, and until the next video, which is coming very soon. Thanks for your time on this one. I appreciate it. Thanks again.